You know, USD card has been a very slow pair, but then yesterday she did make a move. So real quick, let me just show you screenshot before right here. So this is when I was taking the trade, and that was on October 1st, right? And of course today is 10. So you see over here, this was October 1st, nothing edited, and of course this is what price is doing currently. So real quick, I'm just going to talk you through and show you why I was looking for buys and why I did take that buy and how I did analyze this trade. All right, so basically I'm at the daily time frame, and of course just to show that I do take this trade right here. So you see this is USD card, you guys can confirm this is my entry right there, right? So and of course these are just the updates that I kept giving my gang, right? So why did I take this buy, right? So that's the question that you guys maybe may want to know. Why did I take this buy? How did I take it, right? How did I analyze this trade? So right here, now if you look at this market generally, yes, we have been in an uptrend, right? So this is an uptrend, strictly buys, right? Now this is the second time I'm taking USD card, and the last one, of course, I did hit my take profit, right? I think it was around this level right here. That is where I did take my buy entry position. So this is another entry position. So look at this. I say I look for three touches. We had a first touch, second touch, right there. So 1, 2, 3. Now on the third, that is where I should be looking for my buy entry, to take the market all the way up. In essence, I'm anticipating, let me just bring this. I'm anticipating that we might be going all the way up to retest, or to give us that third touch. So that's the long-term perspective, right? So right now I'll just continue looking for buys until maybe price hits that target. Now we have this level right here, or that channel, something like this. So that's just to tell me that okay, we had all this as an impulse. Sorry, we had all this as an impulse, and all this was a correction. So my anticipation is we should start seeing USD card giving us impulse phases, right? Because why? We've already taken out this downtrend. The continuation is done, guys. Forgive me for the background noise. We have construction going on, right? So good. Now if you look at this over here, we had an impulse phase right there, correction, impulse, correction. So now USD card played out around this level right here for a while, and most were thinking, oh, that's like a head and shoulder, but to me, I saw something different. This is what I saw, another continuation, right? So you see, to me, I'm like, okay, all this is an impulse correction. So we are currently in an impulse phase. But then if you look at this also handsomely, keenly, there's also a possible double bottom. We had an impulse phase and then correction, right? So let me remove all this and start this analysis from this level right here, something like this. And I think if you watched my last video when I was breaking down odd CHF, we had this kind of a pattern too. We had a double bottom, right? Now we have neckline right here. So once I did mark that, let me just go to the H4, right? So we anticipate that we might be getting a pullback or a retest once price breaks out of this, right? But of course, if you zoom in, you might see we had a small retest right here, but then that's not interesting to me. So my anticipation was, okay, I saw price going up, and then right here, this is what caught my attention, right? So the moment I identified that level, I went and added more trend, right? Now once again, you guys can see, let me just try to zoom in right there. Right here we had another continuation. If I bring in another trend line right here, we had another continuation, right? Now most people trade ICT. I believe that's the new fashion, ICT, SMC. In fact, these are the guys that are right now, if you go to the internet, they're really against trend line, because I don't know why. Maybe they feel like their strategy is way too powerful and maybe modest. But then to me, the traditional way, gold is gold, right? Once you identify a trending market, guys, even if you're trading ICT and you ignore the trends, you ignore what price is telling you, your ICT or SMC is never going to work, right? So yes, you trade your ICT. Oh, I'm waiting for my fair value gap, waiting for liquidity sweep, right? So how will you wait for those things to work out if you are trading against the trend, right? So definitely you'll keep burning. So my advice will always be, even if you're trading those kind of strategy, always try to look for the trends, try to understand market position, try to understand what price is doing, because at the end of it, trend is always the way, right? There's no way you should trade this kind of a market, right? You might think, okay, anytime price hits this level, we bounce ICT, oh, wait for another liquidity sweep, we go in. But then what you looking at, maybe price doing this, then once you take your entry, then boom, in essence, probably all this was just an impulse, and this thing that you are trading was just a correction. And then once the bulls or bears come in, you get wiped out. And then, or you talk about sweeping liquidity, or you liquidity grab, and then you turn out to be the liquidity that you guys do talk about. So you're trading ICT, SMC, and then you become the liquidity, right? So always try to incorporate trend line, right? In fact, the moment, let me just give you free advice, let me just give you something, a good tip. The moment you try, in fact, I don't know, instead sorry guys, before we continue with our analysis, I just want to show you why trend is important, right? So I believe ICT do things like this. Maybe you identify something like this, maybe your levels, something like that, and then I believe you wait for the market to go up, blah blah blah, then something like this, then you identify your levels, probably something like this, something like this, and then I believe you wait for maybe liquidity grab. Then mostly have you have pending orders. Mostly most people do have pending orders, something like that, and then maybe look for your entry. Okay, but what if this thing, or this fair value gap thing you're waiting for is not at the right trend, right? So what if we were doing this higher high, higher low, higher high, and let me just have it, maybe higher high, higher low, then the market probably went, sorry for my drawing. So maybe you took this entry right here, but then to my knowledge and understand that the market will continue dropping, to go back to give us this trend. Sorry for that drawing. But then I believe you have you get the picture, right? Let me just try to look for a scenario, maybe okay, maybe around this level right here. Then you see, let's just bring in a trend. So take your entry. Okay, let's just say, okay, you have your pending order right there, stop loss right there, and then you think, okay, let's just take it back to this level right there. Then 1 2 3, we are coming back to retest this level, right? So try to incorporate trend line and add it to your system. It's going to work, trust me. Things are going to be easy, right? So this is it. So let's just continue. We were talking about this as a continuation right there. Now I think for the ICT, if you had this kind of a trend, 1 2 3, so this is where I think you wait for your liquidity grab. Probably, I don't know how you guys talk about those things, change of character, break of blah blah blah, so something like this. So once price has to grab that liquidity, probably you might have your entry right there. So this is instead of taking your entry, I mean having your analysis based on lower time frame. In fact, those who trade ICT, guys, if you incorporate trends, trust me, you're going to catch so many pips, because for me, I know that, okay, once you have your entry, of course, let's say that's like 8.9 pips, and I know that mostly are going to target this high here where the market reversed from. So that's like 55 pips. So to you, that's like at least 6%. But if you incorporated trend line and understood that this market has that possibility to go all the way up, so you see, you're going to catch so much move. That's like 1:20, right? Because you follow trend. So please try to incorporate trend line. So let's just continue. I'll remove this, and we'll talk about my analysis, right? So what do I do now? For me, this is how I trade. I understand that those who are analyzing this market based on the lower time frame, they are only trading this trend right here. And what am I talking about? I know most people are doing the analysis from 5, 15, even 1 minute, right? So in fact, let's just go to the 5 and tell you what I'm talking about. This is it. So when we go to the 5-minute time frame, we have people who just come to the market, throw in their trends. Let's just remove this, throw it their trends, and they're like, oh, so right here the market is basically in a downtrend. In fact, I can clone this. I can have this right here. Oh, right now we're cruising at a downtrend. So okay, so anytime price hits our level, it bounces. Oh, okay, all right. So right here, okay, now time to take our end position. Boom. In fact, I think ICT SMC will have done that, because I think we had a level right here. So probably there was to wait for the market to grab their liquidity and maybe have their entry right there as usual, and then continue doing their thing. But I'm not analyzing my trades or my market based on lower time frame, right? So once I identify this kind of pattern, what do I do next? I look for a place where, in fact, since I was looking for buys, I look for levels where bears are going to have their stop loss. Why I'm looking for bear stop loss? Because why? They understand that, okay, this is the downtrend right here, and of course we should be looking for sale, right? So we see price goes creating a new high right here. Good. Now I wait for bears to come in. The moment I see bears coming in, of course their stop loss will be above this high right here, right? So that's where their stop loss is. Sorry, let me just have this level right here. So probably that's where bears stop loss are. So I wait for bears to come in, and what next? Once bears come in, they will try to push the market just like they did right here, right? Now no worries, but then the moment I see bulls coming in and taking bears stop loss, that's when I go in, right? So that's when you see me taking my trade, and that is in fact that is what I did. And now you see the market is let me just take it back. You see price is now cruising nicely right there. Good. Now look at the H4. You see we had bears coming in, rejection, bulls, we had the market closing with a doji indecision right there. And of course, just like I say, wait for them bear stop loss to be taken out, then take your entry. That's what I did. Now this market really took time to play. So you see the market was going to our favor. In fact, after taking my entry, I can say I went back to drawdown around 10 pips, and then after some time, the market went to my favor 42 pips. Then all of a sudden it started playing donuts, blah 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 blah. So once I saw this, I'm like, okay, no worries. To me, this is just another continuation right here. So so I'm like, okay, if you missed out the early entry around this level, price is just giving you another chance, second chance to look for your entry, guys. And just so you know that this a spike right here, this was not news. Yesterday we never had news. This was just accumulation, right? The market was just accumulating more buying pressure. In essence, we were trying to break out of this level. Let me just take it back to the daily. So you see we had this level right here that price wanted to break out of, so it was trying to accumulate in order to break out of that level. And yes, now you see the market has done that, which is amazing. So currently I think I'm floating almost 90 pips. Let me just confirm. This is just the daily time frame. So let me just see. Price went to my favor up to, let me just see, that was 90 pips, I believe so. If not 90, let me take you to the H4. And if you want to get this kind of signals, guys, I give them on my VIP, first hand FX premium. Yeah, that was 91 pips right there. So yeah, market went to my favor 91 pips, and that's almost 1:2. But then remember what I said, I don't take partial, I don't trail my stop loss. In fact, I believe most will be like, okay, price has taken out that high, so let's just have our stop loss here. No, that's not me. This is it. The moment I've decided to open that buy position or sell position, I let the market do its thing. I don't care even if she decides to come back. Okay, that's a bad trade, right? But then I still anticipate that we will go back to retest or to hit that take profit. So I'm only left with around I think 60 pips to hit my take profit. Now let me show you that trade on old CHF. She did hit take profit right here. Like I said, guys, I don't tamper with my trade. You see we have green right there, correct? This is when odd CHF did hit final take profit. Yesterday I made a video before she hit take profit right here. This is before hitting take profit, and this is after she hit take profit, guys. Once again, right there, you see green. I did not close this trade manually. I let the market close. Is either the market close it with a loss or close it with a take profit, right? So once again, guys, this is my group First Hand FX Premium. So if you want, check out my Telegram link in the description box below, and adios amigos, peace.